Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this out there on the World Wide Web. This is Jeremy Geelan for SYS-CON TV. We are here at 8th Cloud Expo, New York. Mark Weiner is our next guest from Virtela. Mark, if somebody out there has not been clear what Virtela has been doing recently, how should we start? How do you place yourself in the great space?
So thank you, Jeremy. So Virtela, what do we do?
Yeah.
Next generation managed service provider. We started in 2000. So global network, we can access you anywhere, anyhow, help you connect. What we've done and why we're here is we've taken that global footprint, 50 points of presence around the world, and allow you to take a lot of your network, security, other IT services, put them in the cloud, on the network, and now get them as a service, not hardware you have to put in all of your sites around the world, manage capital expense, and keep up to date.
It's pretty much the cloud mantra, and I'm imagining you're getting pretty much a long line of people saying, could you help us?
Sure. First they ask, how? Hey, I've got Cisco boxes or Juniper boxes or other things in my branch, in my data center. How do I get it out of there? If I put it in the cloud, what does that mean? As we explained to them, again, the same benefits Amazon did to compute and storage and others here do, we can help you with your network, your security, and your mobility.
So you really are the meta player in all of this.
I'd say we really are a complement to cloud compute and storage. Call it, some of the analysts say cloud network services. Right. Whatever it is, it's putting now the network to support the compute and storage, put that in the cloud as the next stage of cloud migration.
So let's take an example. Let's sort of drill down into this. What would be a good example? We don't have to name names, although you might want to. What would be a good example, Mark, of somebody who's getting benefit, business benefit out of Virtela?
Sure. I mean, we have many hundreds of customers from mid-market to Fortune. I'll give a great example I just had lunch with today. In this case, I can't mention the name, but they, for example, have already moved a lot of their core business process software off to a couple of hosted providers. Their challenge is, great, I've done that, the US can access it okay. The sites that you connect for me overseas, I'm scared what they're going to do to get the response time. What can you do for us, Virtela? So we will put in acceleration, we're going to measure the performance of the app, so they can take the US hosted app, deliver to the other continents, and have the business process go and the network not be something in the way.
Now let's
by the way, with no hardware to do that.
I just want to circle back to your 50 points of presence. A lot of people seem to forget, don't they, momentarily, they forget physics. There is still this thing called physics. So why don't we speak to that a little?
Certainly. And as my marketing team tells me, we call them local cloud centers because they're POPs that are converted into mini data centers. But physics, sure. The customer asked me in my speaking session today, hey, that's great, you take it out of my branch, you put it in your local cloud center, what does that do to my performance? And I told him, one of the things that when I advise all of my listeners today is get a partner, whoever it is, Virtela or other, that has their cloud computing assets close to where your offices and your users are. Our 50 LCCs being close, it minimizes the physics. In this case, most of our locations are within 50 milliseconds of any one of our LCCs, so the last mile to you is no impact, but your end user gets the benefit of accelerating around the world or securing around the world.
I love that. Within 50 milliseconds, measured by, that's beautiful. That's a good slogan right there.
But literally, I spent years in the hardware business, 20 years. I launched companies into this market. What now you can do in the cloud is what we spent years building, you can do in hardware. Just like compute and storage, you can take a lot of these IT security, put it in the cloud, as well as offload the management to your partner.
Now, how's this affected Virtela as a company? Did you see cloud coming and were ready for it, or are you like scaling up in that cloudy way?
We actually, again, being founded in 2000, took a next-gen architecture to the network. Right. Not owning the fiber, we're going to use others' fiber, make it better and faster. We saw this coming, so about 2 years ago, we evolved those POPs into mini data centers in advance, or I should say in good timing with this trend. Did we see it in 2000? No, I can't say that.
That's an honest answer.
But at the same time, we saw what Amazon did and said, hey, if that's the compute, that's first. They did storage next. We're taking the network and security after them. So I've got a nice chart. It's logical progression. What else can our customers and you put in the cloud?
I like the sound of this. What would I do if viewers watching this scoot on over to Virtela.com? What are they going to see?
And it's Virtela.net, but that's all right.
More importantly, Virtela.net. What are they going to see?
What they're going to see is really just a range of use cases. They're going to see, a dozen plus customer examples of what they have done and how. and just what are some of the services along with the network. So what do you do for the network, but what services can you potentially put in the cloud that today you have to buy in hardware and software?
Sounds good to me. If I were you, I would do it. Again, Virtela.net. Mark Weiner, thank you so much for joining us here, New York City, at 8th Cloud Expo, and thank you for following this out there on the World Wide Web.